Hey everybody, welcome back to Lords of Shadow.
So he has found another of Gandalf's upgrades. This was unforeseen, though it should prove useful in the challenges to come. The lost city of Agharta looms before him. I wonder if you know what truly lies ahead for you, Gabriel, what God has in store for you. The land of the Lycans. This ruined city now belongs to their lord, and you can be sure he will not allow you to pass without forfeiture of your life. But in order to bring her back, you need to defeat him, my friend. You need to crush him into the dust, like the worm that he is.
Well, the Brotherhood, you have to keep in mind, this is 1047, right? Standards were even lower then than they are now. Also, it was recommended that we go ahead and buy the direct heavy combo, so let's go ahead and take care of that. And when you buy a skill, sometimes it will have an upgrade, as with this right here.
How do you upgrade something? Oh, you press square more times!
Exactly!
That's how.
You just press the same button, except, instead of 3, you press it, 8 times.
What does the next upgrade do? Do you have to press it like 15 times?
You have to press it 9, actually, and on the 9th one, it's a finisher.
Oh. I was only off by like 6, it's fine.
It's no biggie. Actually, that's probably the best one that we could have gotten at this point. It's basically a boss killer. Also, never pass up a moment for close-up.
That was a disappointing close-up, by the way.
It was. The invisible wall, man. Sometimes it's a pain to get around.
Okay, so... Don't hurt the bunny, what's wrong with you?
It's like the cat in Metal Gear Rising, except it doesn't have a fancy backflip. It just, it runs around. And it's not a bunny, it's like a quail thing. It's a warthog. A goblin riding a warthog. There you go.
Does it throw grenades that you have to hurl at the door, perchance?
I wish it did. If it had, grenade launchers on it, that would be great. That would actually make it a lot more interesting than it unfortunately is in reality.
That was not where I was going with this, but that's fine. That's actually a really badass idea.
This warthog here, when you're fighting it, get in close, because when it does its dash attack, you can't block it. And basically just beat the hell out of it until it, flashes, and then guess what?
QTEs.
Well, yeah, QTE, of course. There's a QTE for everything, but not only does our spike chain allow us to saw through solid stone, it allows us to ride warthogs.
Oh man, that is pretty fucking cool.
It is, and I think I mentioned this in the first video. There's different types of mounts that you can get. The Warthog is one. Most of them have the same as Gabriel Belmont, your direct area attack and your wide area attack. Or you can just do the smart thing and run over everything. Like that right there. And it makes it a lot better.
I was gonna say, it doesn't look like you're trying particularly hard to kill anything with this.
Well,
but it's pretty cool.
I could stand there and try and attack them, but the thing of it is that your mount's attacks are really clumsy, I think would be the best way to explain it. And, well, there you go. We'll just kind of headbang into the last goblin there.
Hold the shoulder buttons to strangle your mount! Go for it, Gabriel!
Yeah, when you're done with it,
Jesus Christ!
You choke it and you do a cartwheel off of it.
Wow!
That's how Gabriel Belmont rolls. ASPCA, fuck you.
Oh, we're back to this.
Yeah, also, the ledges don't glow, but that's cool. It's all the same. We're wall climbing.
I'm happy they figured that you learned by now what a ledge is.
But that's the weird thing, is that some of them still glow. It's like they're selective on the ledges that they'll let you glow with. Also, yeah, it's more like spiderweb walking stuff here, except it's wooden planks and invisible walls because they don't want any shortcuts. Oh, hell no with that.
I'm noticing a distinct lack of stumbling.
Well, yeah, it's Gabriel, he's getting better balance, man. It's the spike chain. It evens his weight out.
That upgrade certainly does a lot.
Doesn't it, though? Yeah, I really have not a lot to say about this part in the game. It's just one massive, like, wall climbing thing here. We're basically, I guess, except for, like, the pretty, you know, thorny roots that are climbing up all over the walls, is basically wanting us to be the medieval Spider-Man, essentially.
Pretty thorny roots. Oh, I didn't tell you to move out of the way that time!
Yeah, I was disappointed. We didn't get the massive dodge now or move away now prompt. You're letting me down, Lords of Shadow. You're letting me down.
We think you're a real gamer now. You can handle this shit, no problem.
We're taking away those giant prompts that take up half the screen.
I was gonna ask, do your mounts have health? If you get hit, do you get knocked off of them?
Yeah, that's a good question. The thing of it is that you have to lower the enemy's health enough before they will flash so you can actually get up and ride them. It recovers a little bit of that health, but yes, they do have health, they take damage, and you can't get knocked off until they die. But, I mean, the good thing about it is that you don't actually take damage while you're on the mountain, so that helps.
And we're back to this.
Yeah, the gimmick here is where you have to turn the little dais in the middle there to open the gate, but we're periodically attacked by these lichens here, and if you don't turn it fast enough, then you're going to get ambushed again. And of course, if you get hit, well, you get knocked off the little door opener there.
How fast are you rotating this stick, by the way?
You don't actually spin it. The thing of it is, you just rotate it around in like the opposite direction Gabriel's facing, and he slowly walks. So it's not like a Mario Party thing.
Oh man, I miss Mario Party.
If there's going to be any lawsuits from this game, or if there were, it wasn't over the control stick being rotated.
Oh, is that monkey about to attack you?
I think so, but, well...
What?
Comedic stage left exit. Yeah.
There's a lot of animal cruelty in this update.
Arsenics, you have no idea. It's not just this update. There is a lot of animal cruelty in this game. You are... Gabriel Belmont and pretty much everything else is just... He is a torturous little bastard. I don't know any other way to put it. He just... Yeah, he does things to these creatures in the most painful way possible.
Has PETA made a game based off Castlevania?
I don't know, they did on Mario, so why not?
Punish the Belmonts for beating up all those bats. Picking on Dracula like that. We'll show him.
My god. Also, yeah, we're gonna have to come back when we get an upgrade, just like in the beginning stage of Chapter 2. So much backtracking.
Well, we just saw through it. I mean, you can saw through stone.
Well, it's not a round stone pillar, though.
I guess.
There's a difference in Lords of Shadow Arsenics. Also, look, a glowing toothpick in the the goblin grabbed it. That must mean that it's very important, so we have to... That gives us plenty of reason to go kill and commit mass murder here as well.
I think that monkey earlier was a goblin.
No, it wasn't a goblin, actually.
It wasn't?
No. If you look close, you remember the swamp troll from the Dead Bog? It was just like a small version of that, so it's a little troll.
Oh.
We'll encounter more later on, actually. And I'm just gonna be cheap and grab these guys here because, you know, fuck trying to fight them with skill, hell with that.
Yeah, like that triple heavy combo, which consists of skillfully pressing square 3 times.
Well, you have... Now, come on now, you don't just press square 3 or 8 times. In order to initiate it, you have to hold down the button, see, for like a second first. I like how the goblin, he just kind of activates its grenade, and instead of throwing it at you, it just runs around like an idiot. That was nice. They are almost as dumb as Gabriel Belmont. These greater werewolves here, or greater lichens, whatever you want to call them, are actually the first pretty challenging enemy that we've got here. They attack quick, they move fast, they've got an unblockable, and they've got a shockwave attack. And a lot of health, as you can see. The thing about it is that you may notice that, like, the spider would block some of your attacks as well as this lichen here. When they're blocking, if you keep attacking them, after you hit them about 2 or 3 times, then that will initiate them using their unblockable attack. Also, what better way to finish him off than with a quick time event?
I was going to ask, are we going to see any of these attacks? But I guess not.
You saw every attack he had except for the shockwave, which I fight. There's plenty of those guys left around, so you'll see that in the next level.
Oh.
And of course, the natural course of action would be to take that glowing toothpick and stick it in the bull statue's ear so we can turn it. Why not?
I thought you were supposed to use that as a weapon against the greater lichen, but I...
No. Come on. This isn't like stage 1 where you pick up the giant pole and stab him through the heart. That would actually make way too much sense.
Wait, what did turning that do?
Apparently, Gabriel doesn't know his own strength. He turned it just a bit too far. If you thought the abrupt stage endings were at an end, well, you're sadly mistaken.
God damn. It never ends.
Well, yes, it does. Quite abruptly, actually.
This ancient city occupies many layers, each one being the foundation for the next. It is a labyrinthine maze of dead ends and forgotten walkways. Danger lurks around every corner. He has shown great resilience, but this journey will take him longer than anticipated and deeper than any man has ever ventured in centuries. He will need all his wits to find an alternative route into the heart of the city, where his destiny awaits him.
It's almost on like that Symphony of the Night level where the voice acting, people say it's so bad but good. Also, look at this, okay? Look at how far that drop is, right? Just fine. No problem. No broken legs. He's just kind of still on his feet, party on.
I'd expect him to be, like, on his back or something, not just slightly kneeled over.
Yeah, Gabriel Belmont, he's got really strong. He drank a lot of milk when he was a boy. Also, another close-up, because you can't pass on those. Come on. Why would you want to? That stoic face, that square jaw that the Belmonts are known for.
All the other Belmonts had at least emotions. Oh, come on.
Honestly, yeah, even 8-bit Simon had more than Gabriel here so far. Man, oh man.
I feel like you've done this puzzle before.
Oh, come on, you're not supposed to remember that. But this one's different, in a way that you'll soon see. I try to show off the attack here that we spent like 3,000 experience on, too, and for normal enemies, it's pretty crappy because it doesn't stun lock them at all, and the spiders, it's outwitting Gabriel.
It's as exciting as I thought it would be. It's literally the same attack.
I don't understand why they made this combo so long. The only thing that this is really good for are the bosses or the mini-bosses, but you will never have enough time to get in 8 hits with this thing, hardly.
Holy shit, we're riding the spider?
Also, yes, we can now ride the spider. The gimmick of the spider mount, I guess you can always attack with it, but it's really not used for that in the areas that you're able to do this now. That's its attack, by the way, it just kind of pounces around. It's pretty crappy. The thing that it's useful for...
Really? You couldn't do that yourself, Gabriel?
No. Why do that when you can, have a giant spider do it for you, I guess? Gabriel, in addition to being a moron, he's also very lazy. Oddly enough, I think those go hand in hand in the real world as well. Also, it's nice to know that we're not the only things looting the dead corpses around here. I'm glad that spider just really wanted that life gem for itself. That's very nice, thank you.
Well, spiders need to live too.
Sure.
I don't know where I'm going with this. Just go with it.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good to me. Hey, look, more wall climbing with sporadically glowing ledges.
Yeah, I can't get over how they're designing the levels. You get something awesome like riding a spider or a boar, and then a couple minutes of platforming.
Yeah, And this kind of platforming, mind you. But you know what's bad is that the level itself looks good. I mean, it's kind of reddish-brown, sure. But, I mean, bottom line, it looks good. It's just...
I've been saying that a lot about this game now.
Well, that's really its strongest point. It looks good. I mean, let's be honest here.
Oh, this Lightkin is owning you, by the way.
No, he's not. He's just dodging very well.
He's dancing circles around you. You call yourself a professional.
Well, like a butterfly, sting like a lichen. I know, that's the best I got. I'm sorry. We're batting 1,000 with our jokes here on this one, man.
I thought my Peter joke was pretty good, to be fair.
Well, okay, sure. Also, you know what? You can either kill him with a quick time or you can just beat him into the ground.
I noticed just beating him into the ground takes a lot longer.
Yeah, and you actually get less experience for it. So,
What?
see, there you go. It's motivation to do the quick times. There you go.
God.
You gotta have it somewhere.
Makes no sense.
Arsenics, there's a lot of things in this game that you're gonna be saying that about. There really are.
I've said that like the entire time. This isn't a new concept.
I'm wanting to make it sound hopeful, okay? Also, hey, look, yeah, Shockwave. There, now you've seen it. You happy now?
Yes.
We'll just cheap kill these werewolves here. We'll grab them and bash them into the ground, because why not?
Yeah, they introduced a new enemy, and it's already seeming really boring again.
I'm going to blame that on the combat system. While it works well, it's very monotonous. There's like no... Even with the light magic here, you know, it's the same thing over and over again. And I know this was brought up in the thread as well. The magics that you get here don't actually give you new weapons or combos. It's just... It enhances your existing ones with certain powers. And it's just, I don't know, it gets old after a while.
I was gonna say, you mentioned there's RPG-esque numbers that you can bring up as well.
There are. I'd already recorded this update when that was brought up in the thread, but the next update, I will be sure to turn those on so you can get a full effect. Basically, they take up half the screen.
Yes!
With detailing the mathematical equations of everything you're doing, from damage done to damage taken to life healed. When you use light magic, you get a new focus meter. Even though the one stays up there, regardless of whether you have the heads-up display turned on or not, you get enemy life bars. You get an extra Gabriel Belmont life bar, in addition to the one we already have. It's truly an amazing thing. And plus, the numbers are huge, by the way.
I can't wait to see this update.
I'm going to go ahead and predict now that I'm only going to be able to have that on for about maybe half of the stage that I turn it on for, because it really takes up everything on the screen.
Oh, that's a nonsense. You have to keep it on for the entire LP.
Bullshit. I'm the one running this train. Also, yeah, you didn't manage to hear the giant troll sneak up from behind.
This doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Not at all. I do have something kind of curious to point out. By the way, this giant troll fight's exactly the same as the swamp troll, so there's really nothing different here. But something I have a question about. The size of these trolls' noses apparently does not increase as they grow, because the big one has the same size honker as the little ones, if you notice, and it looks really, really awkward on the small ones.
Yeah, that is really weird. That's a very interesting trait.
And they kind of have jiggle physics. I mean, you know, Kojima's involved somewhere, and there's really not any kind of like scantily clad women in this game, so he's got to add the jiggle physics where he can.
Oh, come on, it's Castlevania. I don't believe you in the slightest. Are you riding the troll? Yes! This is the best part of the game. This really should have just been the whole combat system. You could just ride any mount you want and just smash things.
And the troll is hilarious because it just kind of like flails around widely and falls on shit. So
are you even able to control it? Is it just doing its own thing?
you can control the direction, and yeah, you do your wide area attacks where he just kind of sweeps, or your direct area attack where he pounds his fist into the ground, same as it controls the same way as you do your combat cross. It's very awkward once again. And once you're done with him, just kind of like strangling, because why not? Why
That's
wouldn't
how
you?
I thank my friends for rides as well. I just strangled them to death.
Hey man, thanks for that 15-minute ride to school. Now let me choke the shit out of you.
With a spiked whip, no less.
Exactly. Actually, if you read the description, that is what allows us to tame, quote-unquote, these monsters, is the spiked whip. I think it goes into pretty graphic detail that you wrap it around their neck and, like, choke them with it, and that's how you bring them under control.
Yeah, that's how you tame animals.
Because it works so good on dogs and cats.
Jesus Christ.
Also, something you're going to notice, pretty much a good idea, a tip for exploration, like on a semi-serious note here, is if you see a waterfall, there's generally a cave behind it. So, there you go. Plus, now we've increased our light magic. Oh boy.
I have eyes, game. I don't need you to point that out.
We've really been using that so far.
I just can't get over it, so...
Oh well, don't worry. You don't need to, because guess what?
Yes!
Time to saw some more stone!
Yep.
Hardcore stone sawing QTE action.
Whoa!
And it just dissolves under the sheer force that Gabriel Belmont uses on it. He is just that badass, ladies and gentlemen. Gabriel Belmont, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a big round of applause.
I'll be sure to use dynamite next time I want to saw through a tree or something.
Fuck that.
Just make it explode.
Fuck that. Just get a rope and stick some toothpicks in it and it'll have the same effect. If a metal chain will saw through stone, then a rope with toothpicks will saw through trees. Also, by the way, these fights here, they're completely skippable. You have no reason to do this whatsoever. I just felt like trying to show off this greater Lycan here because they haven't really had a lot of screen time lately.
I'm happy you did this, but it's fighting exactly the same as the other ones.
The AI is really, really weird in this game. Sometimes it will just go balls to the wall and attack you. If you've noticed some of the other greater Lycans especially, sometimes they just stand there and look at you. And you can walk right up to them and they won't do anything for like 5 seconds, and it's just really, really weird.
I was going to mention, that other one you fought was just dancing circles around you. Like, it seemed to be really good at evading you. That one just kind of stood there and took every hit to the face.
I'm going to go ahead and say that, give the game developers the benefit of the doubt on this one, and say that it was because they were they gave each one like a different random AI algorithm, so it fights differently. It would have been nice if it would have fell off. It would have been, but of course, then it would have been on Gabriel Belmont's level, and can't have that.
So I'm guessing you're taming this one as well?
Yes, of course. Pretty much, that's the rule of thumb. If you come across a giant enemy like this and you can tame it, it has an immediate use for it that you actually have to use it for. So it's always a good idea to just never go ahead and kill them outright. Just always tame one, or use it as a mount, whatever. And because odds are, yeah, you're going to have to use it some way, shape, or form. If you do kill it by the off chance, another one just immediately spawns, so it's not like you're permanently screwing yourself out of anything.
All right, buddy, let's go for a little walk. Nothing bad will happen to you.
Oh no! I need you to make me a web bridge, just like kind of like Donkey Kong Country 2, except better because it's Castlevania.
But there's more like red platforms.
Also, thanks for that. You're dead now. It looks like I'm goofing off here, which I really am. This whole thing is goofing off. But the thing of it is that the game is so set against having you die wrongly, being able to just jump off a cliff, that they put up invisible walls except for the direct line of sight that you have to take. And if you try and take a shortcut on this one, you bounce off the invisible wall, and your momentum carries you past the web. That's pretty shitty, I gotta say.
That's amazing. I love the animation he had when he was starting to fall in his face.
Plus the slow-mo effect was nice, too. And we're going to desecrate this holy statue.
Blow it the hell up.
Hell yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's plot device time.
Here, brother. I'm going to steal your upgrades.
Time to steal more shit. No words, no nothing. He's like... Plus that look there, he's just kind of like, you know what? Hey, this looks cool, thanks. Appreciate it, man.
This necklace is pretty cool. I guess I'll use it.
I'm going to bring home all the loot from these dead bastards.
Alright, so I read on the forums, because someone spoiled it, that Shadow Magic basically makes you do more damage.
That was me, Arsenix. And yes, it does. It's pretty basic. That's all it does, is it increases the damage output quite a bit, actually, but still, you run through it really quick, too. And that's something else that I need to mention. Certain attacks, with your whip and whatnot, will actually use more light or shadow magic, depending on the attack. Also, this is a bunch of bullshit. It says you can combine the two magics. No, what it should have said is that you can alternate between them, okay? You can't actually combine shit. You can just switch between them really quickly.
What? You expected a really awesome game mechanic like that?
I was hoping, and it sounds a lot more than it really is.
I'm sorry I cracked up there, by the way. I just loved how it interrupted the fanfare to show that little tutorial thing.
Oh, it did interrupt the middle of it, didn't it? Ooh.
It did.
I didn't even catch that. That's why I've got you along for this thing.
Mm-hmm. In case you forgot, you know, you gotta keep in mind, you just got a new upgrade. You may have forgotten about liches.
Well, yeah, and I mean, plus, too, it's like, well, never mind. That's for another update. I do have a relevant piece of material here that I can tell you.
Uh-huh.
If you think you're ready for some actual relevant content here.
Sure, throw it on me.
The sub-weapons that you get in this game will, if you combine them with certain magics, so your light or shadow magic, they will change and alter its effects somehow. Like the daggers, if you use light magic, it doesn't do anything, but if you combine your daggers with your shadow magic, it turns them into explosive daggers.
So that means you're going to be using those all the time, right? Because that sounds pretty awesome.
No. They're actually useful for the lichens, but everything else, no. Their main use, if you read the description, is that explosive daggers can activate switches. So instead of a weapon, it becomes basically a key.
Can't get over the transitions or lack thereof.
I know, it's horrible. Anyway, I'm just going to go over some of the upgrades here, and that's a wrap, man. What do you think so far? It was totally worth those 2 stages to get the shadow magic, wasn't it?
Sure.
You have to keep the hope, man. Keep the faith.
Is the mount thing going to be overused?
No, actually, Chapter 2 is the most that it ever gets used. After Chapter 2, we very rarely use it again, ever.
That is lame as all hell.
It is. Something that's actually fairly cool, and they don't use it. By the way, in the thread, the next upgrade we're going to get is the Holy Cross, or the Jesus Ray.
Jesus Ray?
Trust me, it's on the upgrade video. Just watch that and you'll see why it's called the Jesus Ray. It makes sense.
Okay. I did watch it before, but I forgot about it.
Well, see, now you've got the reason to watch it now, man. Upgrades. They are an important fact of Lords of Shadow. Totally not arbitrary at all.
I can't get over this game. It makes me laugh in the worst ways.
I know. I'm worried I'm going to lose you any time here for this, and it's just going to be me and the thread will get abandoned. But please don't do that.
You abandoned me in the thread for a week, man. I didn't know what to do.
Well, anyway, hey, man, I appreciate it. Everybody, I hope you're gleaning something from this. It does look very pretty. Rembrandt, it's got nothing on this. Catch y'all next time.
Later, all.